Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan, bringing you some more draft day sports, college basketball 22, and we are back with the Journeyman save, and we are now the head coach of Arkansas. If you didn't watch the last episode, we had another kind of disappointing run. We finished like 29-2 or something like that. It's been a few days since I remember, but we got knocked out in the first round of the ACC tournament, and then we got bounced in the Sweet 16. So we were just, I remember in the moment I was just so tired of being with Clemson and just like having all these moments with Clemson. I needed to switch it up. Arkansas is a really cool school, and they have a nice budget, and they can win a championship. You can win a championship here. They've won it in the save recently. So I kind of like hopped and did a little bandwagon, but they've kind of sucked since they've won their championship. Like they've just gone completely downhill. Their recruiting sucks. The team is awful. We're going to have a lot of work to do. I mean, the team is absolutely trash. I need these guys to transfer. I need some of these guys to leave because like I need scholarships. It doesn't look like I'm going to have a lot of scholarships next season. And if I got to roll with these guys, I mean, no, these guys are awful. Please transfer. But anyways, I'm happy to be here as the head coach. Hopefully we don't get fired in the first year. That would be really depressing. If you want to look at Journeyman so far, we basically maxed out on all of our coaching stuff, basically, until, yeah, because I set the limit, so we're basically maxed. We're probably going to be at Arkansas for a while. If you just want to take a brief look at our history here, I mean, we were at Clemson 4 years, and we had some really good regular season records, just not the postseason success that we wanted, right? And so I thought it'd be a good time to switch it up. You know, Clemson chose us; we didn't choose Clemson, and now we chose Arkansas. And hopefully we can build a championship program here. It's gonna take a few years, especially with how bad all our players are right now in these goals. We just first year, honestly, these are what these goals are, but let's just not get fired and let's have a good recruiting class. Anyways, guys, let's take a look at the staff because that's what's going on here. And we're gonna, you know what, these guys suck, and it's time to move on. You know, it's a new regime, a new head coach. I'm gonna bring in my staff, so. Guys, I'm going to go through and I'm going to hire my coaches. My strategy is going to be for the first coach, I'm going to grab a really good recruiter, and try and have him be a good player developer too, and then just kind of fill it out. So that way I have enough money for recruiting because we're going to need national reports. We're going to need money for all the camps. So I need to be really thoughtful with the money here. So I will give you guys an update when I've put my staff together. Alright guys, we're back. I finished the staff hiring. So as you see, my first coach, full recruiting. We're going to be able to target the best players nationally, and we're going to have a pretty good shot. He's also pretty good at player development, but as you can see here, we have a pretty good player development coach as well. So I might just, you know, because sometimes I forget to switch, I'll just probably leave this guy on recruiting and let this guy do player development. It takes into account almost all of our, you know, player development because I'm the head coach mostly. But you know, we really want to dominate recruiting, right? The best way to just win is just have the best players, right? Instead of develop them, just grab the best 5-star players and roll with them. So having maxed out recruiting for all of us is going to be really good. So, and as well, not that much on him, right? 190,000. That's not bad. So we have 230,000 for recruiting, which is a lot. That's enough for a gold report, national report, and you can get all the camps and maybe you can get all the camps, you can get the local gold report. Like you're going to be able to recruit just fine and be able to pull in the kids from like California and stuff in case they're interested. So alright guys, let's go ahead and advance and see what we can pitch. We could pitch facilities, but I'm going to pitch more budget too, just so we can have a nice hold. You know, I think the facilities are good. They could get better, but we'll see. I'll see you guys when we get there. All right, guys, we're meeting with the board. Honestly, it's our first year here. I'm just gonna go budget. I don't think it really matters. We're just gonna see if they give it to us. I mean, it's our first year here. We can't really expect much, right? The last coach went 10-20. He did win a national championship for them, but then he left this program in shambles. Like, he inherited a really good recruiting class and then just left this place terrible. It's like, yeah. They don't want to increase it. Anyway, guys, we're at the end of the season. We'll get to the start of the new season. We'll get recruiting. We'll get to transfers. Hopefully a lot of these guys transfers, or maybe we might have to look into kicking some of these guys off the team, but I don't know what we'll do, guys. But we're going to need to recruit some big-time transfers so next year we can have – I mean, this is going to be a couple years rebuild. I know Arkansas is set up for success, but it's going to take some time, so – hopefully we can have a couple scholarships to be able to pull in some big-time recruits to have a good second season. Our first season, let's just not get fired. Let's get to it, though. All right, boys, here we are. Let's get it. We're at the start of the new season. Let's check out these emails real quick. Looks like there was no conference realignment. So we have one scholarship available. No. That's not good. We have 240,000. That's a great budget, but I mean, look how bad this recruiting class was from a previous coach. Guys, we're gonna need some help, right? The people that we brought in are bad. The coaches set us up to failure. The athletic board has too much expectations. We need to be able to survive this first year. Anyways, let's go buy our reports. They want the premium. This one, you know what? I'm going to get the premium national too because it's really helpful. So that's 110,000 right there, right? But look, we will still have over 100,000 in budget for transfers, for training camps, everything. So plenty of budget. That's what the difference between an Arkansas and a Clemson is this budget to be able to go after these national reports, all the camps, get all the information and be able to nitpick and choose the best players. So guys, pray for people to transfer. We need more scholarships. 2 to 3 transfers, I'd be so happy. All right, boys, I'll see y'all at the start of the transfer portal. All right, boys, we're back. You get a glimpse of the team. It looks pretty bad. I don't know how many people have transferred. I haven't looked at the email. We'll look at it together. Only one person has transferred, so we only have 2 open scholarships, which means, guys, somebody's probably getting booted off the team by the time offer time comes around. It depends. If I have some really good players, then some of these guys are getting cut. But I want to take a look at the roster we have right now. So we're going to bring in like a senior that can help contribute right away to help make sure we can get some wins. But I want to make sure I get the scholarship right away. So it looks like Chad Williams, this junior, is actually our decent point guard, I guess. He didn't play that well, but, I mean, you're going to have to get the job done. I guess we're good at guard. These freshmen, this freshman might have to go. We'll figure out who has to go later. We have one scholarship guard who's, like, garbage. He can hit the 3. Guys, we don't have a center to save our life. Who would we play? We would play 2 point guards. This guy has a torn ACL to put the nail in the coffin. We would play. Man, 4 of our best players are guards. This is crazy. So we need some sort of forward or center or big man to complement our guards and just roll with it, and then maybe kick some of these guys off and we just need a decent forward, center, power forward, something to complement our 2 to 3, 4 good guards, and then just pray and hope for the best and not suck. So. And that guy has to be a senior because I want the scholarship back. So I'll show you guys my strategy. It's really simple. We have one offer. That's the only offer we're going to make. Any other offer will be for some high school kid. And if we need to make room. The problem is when you kick off a player who's a scholarship player, it's like a 50-50 chance that you lose prestige when you kick them off, and that's not good because you want to keep the prestige there, but you also need to cover your butt and make sure you can get enough players in where you will have good players and, like, you know, be good the second year. So if I might cut up to 2 people to have 4 scholarships, but we'll see here, guys. We're going to come to senior class, and anybody who's not a guard but in the senior class, I'm scouting. I have no interest in any juniors. I have interest in seniors. So anyone who's not a guard and a senior, they're getting a look at. So I mean, this guy from UNLV, he's the top point scorer. I mean, I might just give him the offer, guys. Honestly, I'm gonna give this guy the offer and scout the rest. And if he doesn't take it, we'll find someone else and we'll move on. This is gonna be a really quick transfer portal for us. All right, boys, we're back. He didn't commit on the first week, but he got hot, and then the second week we got Bruce Drexler, who is going to be our starting small forward. He was that guy from UNLV, freshman of the year, blah, 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 all the accolades. He's going to be a nice stepping stone, like little transition piece. We're going to ride him and our point guard, and then we're going to use whatever little depth, if you call this depth, we have to just survive and keep our job. So we have no more scholarship, guys. That was it for the transfer. We got our guy. We got our guy to help us out, and maybe we have kind of a big 3 here, a solid 3. Hopefully with my coaching, we won't be trash. It's going to be a rough season, guys, but hopefully we can bring in a nice small forward, a nice forward in recruiting. We have 2 scholarships. We're going to really evaluate the team and see, like, can we cut, you know, these guys? You know, we got to also evaluate, like, how, you know, because when you cut people, you're going to lose your prestige, so you got to be very, very careful. So I will evaluate that when that time comes, if I think the prospects we have a chance of getting. So, all right, guys, let's get through the transfers, and I will we'll start regular recruiting, and then I'll see you guys there. All right, boys, we're back. We're done with the transfer portal. I got done simming. I just wanted to show y'all the summer travel plans. We're basically going everywhere. We're going to the best national camp, and we're going to attend all the regional camps because A, we have the money to do so, and B, it'll be really helpful to see, like, all the camps for like all the regional camps. So, you know, maybe we could take off some of these that don't matter, but it's like, what, it's 5,000 a piece, right? So 10,000, 20,000, basically 30,000. We still have just slightly less than 90, like 100,000 to recruit. That is plenty. So we're going to proceed. And guys, I'm going to get into recruiting. You guys know I don't like to show every little bit with recruiting. So I'm going to recruit the best players available from the national camp. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be the best players from the national camp. We're going to see who does the best, who has interest, and grab the best player available. I don't care what position they play. I'm going to grab the best player available, whether they're point guard, shooting guard, and we will make the team work. And then when we get close to in-home visits, we will look and see if we need to make some cuts in our roster to be able to grab another player or so without detrimenting the team prestige too much. So we will come to that conclusion in a minute. But guys, I will get through some of recruiting and I will give y'all the necessary updates when we get there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and to the guys who watch the videos and leave a like right away, thank you guys. You guys are the real MVP. You guys know, you know who you are, who you watch the video within the first 10 views and you leave a like. You're a legend, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, and I'm going to get through recruiting, give you guys the update, and we'll go from there. Somebody's getting cut from this. I can't just have two guys, 2 scholarships, so we'll see. We'll get there. All right, guys. Well, I just wanted to let you know that I'm shooting for the moon here. This guy is the MVP at the India Elite Camp. He is one of the best players in the country. He's a point guard. As you saw, we are pretty stacked at point guard, right? But the way I think about it is we got to go for the best players, right? And this guy is, in my opinion, the best player in the class. He's a point guard, so he'll be able to facilitate everything. It's just everything's going to be able to flow around this guy. You guys, you gotta risk it for the biscuit. You gotta go big fish hunting when you only have 2 scholarships. You know, you gotta go for the best players. We're gonna go for this guy. I haven't identified the second guy yet, but when I do, I will definitely let you guys know. And there's probably gonna be some more targets when we kick some guys off our team and go after some other dudes. So I'll catch y'all up at this update, but I just wanted to let you know we're going after the best players here. Alright, boys, I think I got my next prospect. It's a shooting guard, so we're going double guard, but this guy's a top 10 player in the indie camp. He's top 20 overall. I mean, this guy, we need a guy like this at shooting guard. We're going to offer him the scholarship, guys, and I'm going to clear the way for 2 more scholarships to offer once we get closer towards in-home visits. I don't know who those guys will be, and I don't know who our targets will be, but we're going to target somebody. But we're going after the best point guard and the best shooting guard. And so I'll meet you guys when we get to in-home visits, and we'll see who our other targets will be and see who we'll cut. So going to be an interesting recruiting class for sure. Guys, we are at the start of in-home visit. I should have let you guys know I cut a center, and our prestige did go down by 1, and I'm cutting this a point guard so that way we can have 2 more scholarships. Hopefully our prestige doesn't drop too bad. It's at a 78. That's okay. So we got 2 extra scholarships for 1 prestige point. That's honestly worth it for me to have a better class next year. So if we come back here, guys, we are still going after Vic Henderson, who is the best player. We aren't on his top 10, but you know what? We're going to push it, and we are going to try. We really need him to come here. We're going to pitch him on our prestige of playing for Arkansas, a very close championship. Hopefully, our recruiting skills can come up, and we can convince him. One guy that I'm certain we can get is going to be James York. He is going to be a huge player for us. No matter what, I really believe we're going to get him because we're already number 1 on his list. He was I believe he's a top 10 overall player in this class. Going to be happy to bring him on. Now, I also wanted to target, the reason I cut those guys is I got a point guard, shooting guard, right? I really want this small forward, but I don't think we're going to have a good chance at him. He's going to commit somewhere else. So, Jared McKinley was in the top 25 and top 5 in his camp. So, we're going to offer him a scholarship and visit him and pitch him on our facilities and just like overall playing for a better team than all the teams that he's hot on right now. And then we cut a center, so we're going to pick up a center in Andy Kennedy, who is top 5 at Memphis. He's hot on us. He just needs a visit from us to commit, and this could be like a 4-year player. So we're going to offer him a scholarship, and we're going to pitch him. So those are going to be our guys, boys. We're going to see how they do for us, but we got 2 really elite players, and then this guy, he's pretty good as well, but we really want Vic Henderson and James York. That'll be the 1-2 combo in the backcourt that'll get it done. These guys are going to be great 5 stars. This will be the start of our dynasty and legacy here at Arkansas, as long as we don't get fired on the first, as long as we don't get fired on the first year, we should be okay. So guys, let's sim through, and I will see you guys at, the next week, and we'll see what happens. Well, boys, here we are. We got 4 decisions from everybody. If we got all 4 guys, this is going to be the number 1 recruiting class for sure, and we are going to be absolutely elite next year. We're going to have an elite 4, and then we're going to have some good depth. We'll still be lacking a little bit on the bench, but this should be great. Let's take a look at the home visits first before we get through the decision. Andy Kennedy, impressed. Same thing with Jared, James, and Vic. I feel good about all of this. Vic is the crown jewel of all of these guys. Let's start with Andy. All right, Andy's coming. I feel good about Andy and Jared McKinley. Yes, they both are coming to our school. Let's go. That's 2 huge recruits. We cut basically 1-star people, and we ended up with 5-star prospects. James Yorks, I feel good about him coming. We were number 1 on his list. Guys, we have just right there is the making of an elite team. If Vic Henderson joins, we have the making of a Final Four starting lineup. Come on, Vic Henderson. You know you want to join Arkansas. You want to join this class. We're going to win the national championship with you. Let's go. Come on, Vic. Nah, he's going to Florida. So that sucks. Vic was like the crown jewel. He was the best player. So we didn't get him. But hopefully, I think there should be another backup point guard that we should be able to go after. 3 out of the 4, that's a huge haul, guys. Even though we don't get the #1 overall player, we added some really good talent. So we're gonna come back in here. Oh no, Ivan Towns, he went to Clemson. He was a really good point guard too. So hey, we just need to go after the best available player. Hey, this guy right here, he was in the top 25 as well. And you know, maybe we can offer it to him. We're gonna go best available, double shooting guard. We'll play them both. You know, we're just gonna put the best talent on the floor. We're gonna offer this guy a scholarship, and we're gonna visit him on our facilities and pitch him on everything, and we're gonna see how it goes. But an amazing string right here, man. If we would have got Vic, that would have been great. But unfortunately, we didn't really have that much of a chance yet. But heck, everybody besides the best player we got. So let's see if we end up with Jason. If not, look at some of these guys who are hot here, like Devin. He was decent. He's top 25. You know what? We're gonna visit him, and he's gonna be our backup point guard just in case, because some of these guys here, like this center as well. You know, this guy could be a backup center option for us. Get deep at center already, and maybe like Odell. I haven't taken a look. Odell. He's decent, and he has the name Odell. We'll have him be a backup option, but we'll see, guys. I like who we got. Let's take a look at the schedule that the athletic director put together. I didn't adjust it like I should have. I should have asked for a really cupcake-like schedule, but I didn't. So we'll just keep it like this. Pretty decent schedule. I don't know about our team. SEC play is going to be tough, but all right, guys, let's see if we get that last recruit, and if not, we're gonna we'll look on to someone else. But I'm liking the way the recruiting class is shaking up. I mean, 1 5-star, but these guys are like basically borderline 5 stars. We're going after another. We just missed out, but I mean, this is a great recruiting class. Let's see how this stacks up after the first week. I mean, really, really, really good. Just like what we were pulling at Clemson, maybe even a little bit better. Clemson, without me, look at them. They're starting to pull players on their own, so trying to show me up. But I've always brought them good recruiting classes. So we'll see. We really wanted Vic, man. You would have made it all. You would have just made this class supreme, but it wasn't meant to be. So anyways, let's get through the scheduling. We'll see if we'll get the recruit. We'll get through practice. And then we'll get into some games, guys. We're getting through this episode quick, but that's all right with me. So, because this first year at Arkansas, it's not much to prove, right? We're basically trying to hang on to our job and basically get these boys in and get them developed. And you know, with this is our big 3 right here, and we'll fill them in. Hopefully, we can get James as well. Have a big 4. All right, boys. So I already went through, but we didn't get him. He ends up going to Kansas, which it makes sense. They were recruiting him from the beginning. But there wasn't. I was looking here, and there wasn't really a nice candidate that I wanted to go after. So I think I'm gonna hold the scholarship for a transfer next year to be able to add a nice senior to the piece, and then go after a different high school recruit next year. But I love the way our recruiting class turned out. We're still top of the SEC even without Vic. And we're probably going to finish within the top 5, probably, definitely the top 10, maybe the top 5. So depending on how recruiting plays out, but we got our guys, right? I mean, we got our guys. We have a guard, and we have a good point guard right now. When we're bringing in a nice center and power forward, we have a scholarship where we can bring in a senior small forward who's going to be able to fill out the roster. And then whatever depth we have left, we're going to bring in some more recruits after that. And this is a really good start, guys. James York is going to be basically the nice centerpiece. And we have really good complementary pieces. I know they're 4 stars, they say, but these are really high ranked 4 stars. So, really enjoy the class. Now we're just going to get through recruiting. Basically the rest of recruiting. We don't have to recruit anybody anymore. We have a scholarship, but we're going to hang on to it. We're going to get through practice, and then we're going to set our lineup, and we're going to get through this season. Honestly, guys, expectations this season, let's just go 500. Let's just meet most of these goals and not get fired and bring in this class. So that way next episode, we're playing with these guys and some good transfers, and then we'll stack another one of these recruiting classes, and then it's just building from there, guys. So Arkansas, we're getting there. So all right, I'm gonna pause it here, guys. Get through the rest of the off season, and we'll get into the start of the regular season and get into some games. All right, boys, we made it through the off season. We made it through summer, and here we are at the start of the season. And I'm gonna auto suggest the AI, because I mean, there's not much to adjust, right? We're putting in our best players. Here's our transfer, and gosh, guys, I mean, I guess we're just gonna run with what the AI thinks and just put in the guys who know the offense the best. But man, I can't wait to bring in my guys. You know, our point guard is good. You know, if Chad Williams comes back next year, he'll be a good senior point guard to fill in the rest of the team. But right now, it's just a big three. I mean, Martin Smith's going to have to come and play some shooting guard. Our transfer, he's the best player on the team, and he's not even that great for a team that has aspirations to win a national title. So we're really bad at power forward center. We got that fixed coming in. We got shooting guard fixed coming in recruiting class. We'll fix small forward in the transfer portal, and hopefully we keep Chad Williams. That's a decent lineup. Depth, we'll work on depth eventually. That's something that's going to take time, right? So, well, let's just not suck too bad, right? I mean, this is a really bad team. I don't know how Arkansas ended up in this position after winning a national championship. I mean, this is awful positioning. Clemson is a much better school than we are right now. Like, roster-wise. Like, they have the roster that would dominate us right now. I don't want to play my former team. I came here for the future, the prospects of money and titles and, yeah, all of that. So, all right. Let's see what we can do, guys. I mean, not looking great, right? Like, let's tell you what. Let's get to the end of November. We'll get through these 2 away games, which we're probably going to lose, and then we'll see what we can do in this tournament, and then we'll check back in before we start December. We'll see how we do. Just kind of get a feel for how the team is. Let's just not completely drop the ball. We're not making the Sweet 16. The board is smoking crack, right? Like, the board is smoking crack. We're not doing this. We're not finishing top 3. We'll maybe hit 15, and we've already signed a prospect. Hopefully we can maintain the prestige. Hopefully we don't get fired. Hopefully, you know, they'll give us a second season. But anyways, guys, I'll see y'all at the end of November, and then we'll check in from there. All right, boys, we are back. We are done with the month of November. If we want to do a quick check-in, we did lose the away games. We won a game in the tournament, and then we lost by 2 points. Very, very close games on these showings to some kind of mid-major kind of squad, so that's unfortunate. But we got the jump done at home, so looks like we can kind of take care of the home court, and, you know, we lose at, you know, on the road and close games on the neutral court. So if that's the case coming up, we should go 2-2. Maybe get wins on Georgetown and Mercer at home. So, guys, let's get through December. Let's get through this season quickly, guys, right? These guys aren't my dudes. We're just kind of rolling with the guys that we got. Mike Blanks, look at this guy. 14-6 as a 2-star carrying. Good for you. And then our transfer, Bruce Drexler, who's also putting up big numbers, 14 points, 4 rebounds. Other than that, we're struggling. Brian, he's coming off the bench. He's doing well. So, Chad Williams, he's actually not playing so well for being the 4-star, quote-unquote 4-star player he is. You know, he's dishing assists. He's not that great, you know, but he's the best that we got right now. So we'll roll with what we got, guys. We'll get through the end of December, and let's just maintain this 500 record, honestly. We do not have huge expectations for this. The board is smoking crack. I just don't want to lose my job. I'm ready to get to this recruiting class. Let's see how this recruiting class has stacked up. We're still first in the SEC, which is good. And we're still within the top 5. So, really, really good recruiting class, guys. Now, Texas just comes in and is like, look at our 5 3-star players. Or 3 5-star players. Guys, I have dyslexia, I guess. But anyways, let's get to the end of December, guys. We'll check in. We'll get through the rest of the conference games, and we'll move on from there. All right, boys, welcome back. We made it to the end of December and the start of January. We started off by getting blown out by Southern Cal, but after that, we did pretty good. Wins against Portland at home. We got a road win against Nebraska. That's huge. Hey, any road win that we can get, that's huge. Now, we followed that up by a home loss to San Diego State, but, you know, stuff happens. But then home win against Georgetown and Mercer. We're looking pretty good going into SEC play. Now, let's be honest here, guys. Like, we're going to get smoked by, you know, Auburn, Florida, probably Vanderbilt at home, but Vanderbilt on the way, I mean. But, like, let's try and maintain 500 or go a little bit below 500. We need 8 wins to be able to get to the 15 for the board. So that's what I'm looking for here in the SEC. Now, I have no idea how this is going to go. Let's just take a look at the polls and media. Florida, Gonzaga, my Clemson Tigers are 13-0 without me right now. But listen, we've seen this happen before with them, right? Even if I was their coach, we would be here. But let's see how they do in the postseason. Wouldn't it be really funny if Clemson won the whole national championship in the ACC without me there with my players that I recruited? With my players that I recruited there, that they, now that I'm gone, they win a national championship. Man, what a smack in the face would that be, right? But anyways, guys, let's get through until February. We'll do another quick check-in. For you guys that are interested in the stats, it's still the same, guys. Bruce, Mike Blank is the surprising power forward here. He's playing really well for being a 2-star. But we have just such good talent coming in at power forward, center, and shooting guard that we just need Chad Williams to not suck because all of these guys are getting replaced, right? So Bruce Drexler, who's our transfer, he's holding the team down, thankfully. So if you want to take a look at the insights, yeah, we are pretty bad. We are pretty bad. So let's just try to get to 15 wins. Guys, honestly, I'm just going to sim through the rest of the regular season because, I mean, this season doesn't really matter to us. We really are just trying not to get fired. We're not going to make a deep run in any postseason. We just want to see what happens. Get our recruits in. That's when we'll really start our season to be able to see how we can go, and then we'll build upon that recruiting class from there. So, guys, honestly, let's get to the end of the regular season, and we'll check in from there. Because this first season doesn't mean too much at Arkansas. We're just trying not to get fired. All right, boys, welcome back. I just kind of wanted to give you a brief update on where we are and how things have gone. So, you know, we started off with 2 losses in conference play, but look at this, guys. We got a win at home over the #1 team in the nation, the Florida Gators. They were undefeated at the time, and we gave them the first loss. Hey, I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the year. We're 5-5 in conference play right now. You guys can see our record, but this is everything. We have a win over a potential Final Four opponent. So, other than that, it's been pretty, you know, back and forth, guys. Getting this win on the road against Ole Miss was good. They were like 10-6 at the time, and then oops. But we're doing really, really well, guys. I have to get back to the schedule. For my standards with the team, we're doing well. We're winning the home games, losing the road games. We're finishing February. You know, we got the whole back half of the schedule. We'll see how we go. We need 3 more wins to help check off this 15 games. So that way we can have this 15 games in 4-star I don't know if we'll improve the school prestige. We're definitely not in the top 3. We're pretty middle of the pack kind. We're 2 games behind the 3rd place. You know, maybe there's a way outside shot, but right now we're just focused on just playing basketball and not losing our job, which we're doing a pretty good job at right now. And again, I know I keep showing you guys, but this is what we're playing for. We're playing to keep our recruiting class, get these guys in, and then actually make a serious run. Let's take up the polls and media. Let's see how Clemson's doing. They're 21-2. They're doing good right now. 21-3 forward Gators. I don't Clemson. It's so funny to see your former team doing really, really well, right? But obviously, I set them up for a really, really good success. So nothing too surprising. So Houston was the defending national champions, and before them was Purdue. So we'll see how the rest of the season plays out, guys. We'll get through the rest of the season. We'll do a quick recap, but then we're gonna finish this up, and then honestly. You know, because we're looking forward to next year. This year's kind of a mulligan for us. So I'm going to get through the rest of this sim, guys, and I will give y'all a recap, and I'll see y'all at the end of the regular season. Get a recap, and we'll go from there. All right, boys, we are back, and we are done with the season. And, man, look at the pleasant surprise. We're 18-12. We surpassed our 15-win goal, and, I mean... Boys, the month of February has been good. Look at the run that we went on. We won 6 games in a row from this stretch right here. I mean, look at that. Incredible. Look at, you know, a couple road games in there, you know, and we lost to Vanderbilt and Georgia. Guys, I'm a little drunk. I'm sorry. We lost to Florida and Vanderbilt, obviously ranked teams, but... We beat Georgia on the road. I mean, very, very impressive way to end it. Let's take a look at the standings in the SEC. Wow, we finished 4th. We finished 1 away from top 3. We were really close to finishing top 3. So, honestly, top 4 is pretty good. We hit the 15-win goal. That's good. Let's take a look at the stats. Probably the same guys, the power forward and our transfer. Chad Williams is starting to play better. He's starting to play better towards the back half of the season. That's good. Mike Blanks, man, playing really well. Our transfer is carrying. Thank God I brought in this transfer to be able to help kind of glue this season together and be able to keep my job. I feel very confident that I'm going to keep my job. Let's just make sure nobody's declaring for the draft for our team. We're good. Nothing here to worry about. Let's just delete these emails. Guys, I mean, we're ready to get into the conference tournament. Florida obviously finished number 1. Vanderbilt behind them. Florida is the number 1 team, followed by Iowa. Clemson, our former team, is up there, but, you know, we left them for a reason, right? We left them for greener pastures in the future, but let's see if anyone's surprising here, you know. LaSalle, definitely, you know, they're not that great IRL. Ball State, look at them, but really, really cool teams. Duke is still struggling. Screw Duke, screw Arizona. Houston's the defending national champion, so we'll see how they do. But anyways, guys, let's get in. We're in the SEC tournament. We're not expected to win this, but let's get to March 9th and let's just see how well we do. We finished as a top 4 team in the SEC. That's pretty good. Kentucky's having a really, really off year, but I think we maintained our job, and we're going to get to our recruiting class, and then James York and Jared McKinley and Andy Kennedy are really going to be the staples of the team with Chad Williams at the point guard. We'll have a scholarship for a transfer. Our team, we're going to have a good starting 5. Our depth behind that's going to be bad, but we're going to have a much better year next year. And hopefully we'll be able to put together championship rosters soon. But anyways, guys, I will see y'all when we get to our first game in the SEC. Very, very interesting year. The bubble watch as well. Some people like to see this bubble watch, so I'm going to click on here. Like Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Colorado State, and like you kind of see the final teams in here. It's kind of cool. I like to look at it in an offline save, but it doesn't really matter. I don't know like how much you can control or really look at, right? So like San Diego State's the last at large 16-13 versus 19-11, you know. Tough call. You have to look at the schedules. All right, guys, let's get to the first game SEC tournament. and see how we do. I think we're poised. I don't know if we're going to get an automatic bid actually into the actually that's a really good question. If we're going to get an automatic bid, I would say not. I'd say we're very, very close to being NIT bound. So, all right, let's get to the SEC tournament, guys. All right, boys, here we are at the start of the SEC tournament. Well, it's not the start, but it's the start of our game. We get LSU. Any surprising? Yeah, Auburn beating Mizzou is a little bit surprising, but other than that, we'll see if the top seeds can go through. We get LSU on a neutral court. Let's just see what we can make happen, right? No expectations. They're probably a little bit better than us. You know, we're happy to have finished top 4. NIT bid, it's going to be a little bit painful, like, to get laughed at for the NIT. But, you know, honestly, great season that we've had. 18-12. You know, we got our 15 games. We got our 4-star player. We got really, really good recruiting class. You know, we didn't finish top 3. We failed that. Hopefully our prestige stays about the same. Hopefully it doesn't go down too bad. You know, overall for a first season for a team that went 10-20 the season before to go 18-12 and to have a chance to even make the NCAA tournament, we're doing pretty good, right? So first season not too bad. Second season will be better, and we'll keep building the recruiting classes from there. All I want this year is Clemson to not win it all, because that would be painful. Anyways, let's see what happens, guys. Do we win this first game against LSU? No, we don't, right? So we get bounced. We lose badly. So, guys, we're going to get through the rest of the SEC tournament here. We're going to get an SEC champion. We're going to go ahead and get to the selection show. We'll take a look at that, and we'll see what happens. We're probably NIT bound, but I don't think we're going to lose our job because we have a good recruiting class. We got 15 wins. We did enough to be able to earn a second year. So is it Florida or Vanderbilt who is the tournament champion? I thought maybe it looked like it Vanderbilt, actually. A little upset over Florida. Florida can be beaten. We've beaten them on our home court. So, but we'll take a look at who won it, and then I'll pause. We'll get to the selection show. We'll go through that, see where we end up. And guys, I'm going to call that. No, Florida did win it. So Florida is your SEC champion. They are kind of the top of the league here. And guys, we'll see. Is Clemson in the ACC championship here? Oh my gosh, they are. So anyways, we'll take a look at the champions really quick. We'll get to the selection show. Clemson is the ACC. So Clemson wins the ACC without me. Screw Clemson. Of course it always happens like that. I build the roster, and then the coach comes in behind me and just wins. Man, if they win the national championship, I'm going to be so sad. But anyways, guys, let's get to the selection. So, honestly, for my first year at Arkansas, pretty good year. We have a really, really good recruiting class, and we have a lot to build on. This season doesn't really represent much. We kept our job, and we did pretty well. 18-13, 11-7 SEC. It's pretty respectable. You're not going to win a championship with this roster that we have, but we made the best with what we got. We didn't get fired, and we're going to be able to keep stacking recruiting classes, and we'll be on our way to national championship soon. So anyways, I'm going to pause. We're going to get to the selection show, get through it really quick, and then we'll go from there, boys. I'll see y'all there. All right, boys, here we are at the selection show. I'm not going to spend too much time here because we probably didn't make the tournament. Y'all can read the names and pause. But I'm going to go through this pretty quick because I want to get through this. Y'all can pause and take a look at the names of the people. Clemson makes a 1 seed, so there they are again. Doing good without me. We'll see how they would have done without me. I haven't seen Arkansas yet, so it looks like we don't make the tournament. I just wanted to go through that really quick, guys. It really didn't interest me because I knew we made a, what did we make? We made the NIT. So we made the NIT. That's kind of embarrassing. But hey, honestly, I didn't even expect us to make the NIT, so not too bad. You know what? I'm going to keep you boys right here. We're going to see what happens against California Baptist. You know, we're not a great team right now. We're just going to see what happens. Where are we in the NIT? And Man, it does. I mean, Alabama's in the NIT with us. That's pretty sad. But we're a 2 seed. Let's just see what happens, right? And then, because, you know, this year doesn't really mean too much. We just wanted to get through this year so we can get our players. This year, it's just kind of a mulligan kind of year. Let's see how we do. Hey, we beat California Baptist. Let's go. Let's have a good little tournament run. You know, if they're going to put us in a tournament, we're competitive, right? We want to, I mean, we just have kind of competitive juices in us, and we want to do good, and we're going to do it. And, all right, we got Akron. They've won 21 games. They're 21-10, pretty good for a mid-major to make the NIT. Let's just see how we do. I don't know how we're supposed to do, boys, but we're going to do the best that we can. And, wow, we keep playing. We won by 3. Mike Blanks, the 2 stars going off. Chad Williams. And, hey, I mean, as funny as it is, it's a little NIT run. I'm going to keep you boys here. We get Memphis and what they would be the Sweet 16, I guess, right? I'm not going to look into the NCAA tournament. We're not involved with it. We'll get to that when it's the Final Four, but not bad, boys. Not bad. I'm going to pause it, and we'll get to this Memphis game, and, you know, if they're going to put us in the tournament, might as well win it, right? Might as well try and win it. So we'll see what happens. All right, boys, here we are in our next round of the NIT. I mean, you know, shoot. Might as well do our best, right? Memphis is going to be a tough team, so we'll see how well we can do. But, I mean, we had a decent season for our first year from a 10-win team. So let's see what happens. All right, guys, we finally take our loss, and you know what? That was expected. So, guys, I will see y'all at the Final Four, where we'll look at the tournament champions for the lower tournaments. We'll look at the Final Four. We'll look at what happened in the bracket, and then we'll go from there. All right, boys, I'll see you there. All right, boys, here we are at the Final Four. First of all, we pay tribute to the lower tournaments. Congrats to Alabama, an SEC foe who has won the NIT. The CBI goes to Tennessee. It was an SEC championship, so apparently the SEC just rules the lower level tournaments, and TCU gets the lowest level. So if we take a look at the NCAAs, Florida gets knocked by Seton Hall. Florida State made it as a 12 seed, knocking out some big teams. Some interesting stuff going on here, but ultimately Seton Hall gets in over Florida, and the 2 seed goes on there. Wow, Gonzaga lost to the 9 seed, and that allowed BYU to get in. Texas lost very interesting region. BYU gets in as a 5 seed. Man, with the transfer portal, man, it's made this tournament much more more competitive. Clemson gets into the Final Four. No, if Clemson wins the national championship, I'm going to be so sad, guys. Iowa makes it through. So you have Clemson, Iowa, Seton Hall, BYU. We're rooting for Iowa here, guys. We don't want Clemson to win the national championship. We left Clemson for this job, and if they win the national title without us, oh, that would be so painful. Oh, that would be so painful. All right, what happens here? Oh, yes, Clemson loses in the Final Four. I mean, hey, it's pretty cool that Clemson made it to the Final Four. If I stuck with them, they probably, you know, the same result probably would have happened. But, you know, Final Four is really, really good for Clemson. They're going to move up in prestige for sure. But I could not bear to stand Clemson win the national championship without me. I'm happy they made a Final Four. Congrats to Clemson. I'm happy for them. They were my former school. They gave me an opportunity when I lost my opportunity at Arizona. I'm happy for them. But, you know, I could not have them win a national championship when I left them. So, if my money's on this, I'm in. Seton Hall. No, Iowa gets them by 4. And Iowa has etched their name in history forever as national champions of 2038. That is their first national championship in my save. I believe that would be their first national championship in program history. They finished second in the polls. They are the #1 team, and they get it done, and it is their first national championship in program history. What a program. What a school. Congratulations on the year they had. Let's get to the awards, guys. I don't think we lose our job here. I'm almost guaranteed we don't lose our job here. Oh my God, DJ Watkins sweeps all the awards. They grab the #1 player, basically, and that's how Iowa gets it done. So that's what we're looking to recreate. Look at Brad Brownwell. Look at that. Clemson head coach, former, and he's the Florida head coach, and, you know, he has a decent recruiting class. Take a look at the SEC, what happens. Coach of the year, this Cole guy gets player of the year. Probably was the one of the best players in his class. Just couldn't get it done against Seton Hall. But Iowa is the champion. That was good for their school. Let's see, do we have anybody here? Wow, 3 Florida players. Oh my goodness, that must be a little tough to lose. And hey, Bruce, our transfer ends up being second team All SEC. So congrats, man. Thank you so much for helping me keep my job. Let's go ahead and move on into the staff hiring, guys, and we'll get close to the end of this episode. We're not going to change jobs. I mean, we have a recruiting class. This is where we want to be. You know, ultimately, this is where we want to be. So we're not going to change schools. I mean, almost never say never, right? Never say never. That's why I'm keeping you guys here with me. But, you know, let's see what happens at the season recap. Let's see where we are prestige-wise. But it just wouldn't make sense to change schools, right? We just had a great run with a terrible team. And now we're bringing in our pieces, our 3 really, really good recruits. Who are going to help us, and we get to build upon that. I don't think there's a reason to leave. So let's take a look at the review here, boys. You guys are right here with me. So let's take a look at the review. We actually increased. Yeah, so we went from 78 to 83. I mean, yeah, no reason to leave now because we're at a 4.5-star school now. We're going to be able to push for even higher ranked recruits. I mean, yeah, it's over now. I mean, it's not over now, but I mean, they have the same expectations. Now they want to win 20 games. It's the same thing. So basically it's the same thing, but 20 games. We have a lot better roster to hit these goals. I don't know if we're a Sweet 16 team still, especially with how hard the league gets with all the transfer portal and everything, but we definitely have kept our job, thankfully, and let's just see what's available. We're probably not going to take anything. We're at basically our final school. Like, you know, Duke is open again, and, like, you know, UVA is there. Like, it's cute. Clemson's coach must have just retired. Look, Clemson went from 70 to 79 on prestige. Clemson is basically right there with us now, and they like, if we would have stayed at Clemson, we would have built a powerhouse eventually over time. But, you know, Gonzaga's cute. A lot of these coaches are retiring now. Like, Kentucky is a team that I would have considered in the past. Kentucky, look at the budget. They have like 550,000, right? Oh, 500,000. But we're not switching jobs, guys. I mean, we've kind of found our place. You know, coaches are retiring, and there would be some places, but we have a lot of unfinished business here at Arkansas. So honestly, guys, the first season is a success. I know that it wasn't that interesting, but hey, we took a bad team and we won like 20 games, right? I don't know how many games we won, but we won like, you know, 19, 20 games. We won 20 games with this roster that had their best player come from transfer, you know. So now we're bringing in really good players, and we'll go from there. So anyways, guys, we're at the staff hiring. We're going to leave it there. We're going to keep the staff the same, but that's going to be it for this episode. We have a great recruiting class who's going to come in and play really hard for us next year. We're going to have a great starting 5. Our depth's going to be a little suspect, but we should be able to fix that. And we're only going to get better and better. Our prestige went up, which is even better. we're going to build Arkansas to be a national championship team once again. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and give me a comment below that you're enjoying this series. Journeyman is 58. He's going on 59, but the back half of his years, he's found the program he thinks he's going to be at in Arkansas. NIT, unfortunately, but hopefully from here on out, we'll be able to bring in some elite level recruits who are going to change the game for us. So I will see you guys in the next episode. I'll hopefully get that out to you within the next couple of days, and I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys so much. God bless and have a good one.